welcome. We are going to be doing a nice little power yoga session today to get you going through your day. It'll be nice and quick. We're going to move around a little bit, sweat a little bit, and relax at the end. So let's join me on your mat. If you want blocks, go for it, but you don't need them. We'll all start in mountain pose at the top of our mats. Connecting with our breath here. Maybe your feet are about hip-width distance. Maybe they're a little closer, maybe a little farther. Just have a little micro bend in your knee wherever you are. Try to focus your weight back towards your heels. Elongate your tailbone down, shoulders back, heart shining forward, and gently pressing the back of the skull just in the space behind you. Inhaling and exhaling. Maybe you have a gentle gaze towards the floor, or maybe your eyes are closed here. Palms face forward. Inhale, your arms up above you, gaze follows. Exhale, a little micro bend in the knees here. We're going to lead with our chest folding forward all the way, ever so slowly. Inhale, halfway lift. Maybe your hands are on the floor. Maybe they're on your shins. Nice flat back here. And exhale, fold. Let's roll all the way back up to our mountain pose. So slowly and gently roll your shoulders down your back. Palms face out. Inhale, arms come up, gaze comes up. Oops, exhale, bend at the knees, send your chest forward. Slowly, slowly forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands are planted on your shins or the floor. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up to your mountain. Exhale, your hands to your sides. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Maybe a little slight back bend here, pushing your hips a little forward. Nothing crazy. And exhale, bend at the knees, fold from the hips, leading with your heart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to your down dog. Pedal out your feet when you get here. Maybe walk your feet down the mat a little bit. Maybe walk them a little closer, whatever's most comfortable here. Pressing into all parts of your hands, spreading your fingertips, grounding down through your fingertips, sending your hips up high, and your heart in the space that you've created with your hands and your feet. Really pressing the floor away with your hands. Just bring some movement, some gentle movement. Maybe bend one knee at a time. See how that feels. Maybe you come to the balls of both feet. And then you exhale your heels down. So inhale to the balls of your feet. Exhale your heels over to the left, stretching out your right side body. Inhale back through center. And exhale, drop your heels over to the right, stretching out your left side body. Inhale back through center and exhale your heels gently, just back where they started. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. And just take a nice gentle step to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up to your mountain pose, sending your weight to your heels. Roll your shoulders down your back, palms face out. We're going to put our weight back into our heels again and sink into our chair pose. If you'd like to bring your legs together, that's fine, or you can keep them hips width distance, whatever feels good. Just really pressing into the floor, engaging your feet, engage your fingertips, or your toes, and sink back into the hips. With your weight in your heels, your feet feel like they're dragging the center of your mat apart. Maybe your hands are at heart center. Maybe they're reaching up and out. Try to keep your knees drawn in, activating the inside of your legs, pulling the core up, making sure your tailbone's nice and tucked. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your plank. Take a moment here to really fire up your core, press into all parts of your fingertips, really grounding down through the hands, pressing the floor away. Tight in the core, tailbone's tucked. Your gaze is just somewhere, maybe in between your thumbs. Inhale here, fire up your core. Exhale here. Inhale. Exhale, lower your knees. Lower your chest and your chin. Slither your body onto the floor. Hands at your low ribs. Press into the tops of your feet. Engage your legs so that your kneecaps may come off the floor a little bit. Send your hips down to the floor. We're using our hands to push up here. Inhale to your cobra. And exhale, slowly just bend your knees, send your hips back. Tuck your toes. Push into your down dog. Inhale, right foot goes up. Keep your foot nice and flexed. One long line from the crown of your head all the way down to your right heel. Inhale to the ball of your left foot. And exhale, crunch your right knee into your nose. Shift your weight forward. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And gently place it in between your hands. Take a moment here. Set up your legs so that they are comfortable. Maybe you walk your left foot out a little bit. We'll pivot on our left foot so that our back foot's at a 45-degree angle. And again, maybe we step that left foot out a little bit just so our feet are about hips width distance here. Really ground down in with your feet. Inhale, heart shines forward. Exhale. Inhale, push up all the way to your warrior one. Hips should be shining forward. We want our chests just stacked over our hips. Really strong through both legs. Activate that left glute here. Maybe even have your hands on your hips just to help ground you. Inhale your arms up if they aren't already. Exhale your hands down to frame your right foot. Pivot onto your back foot. And send your right foot all the way back to meet your left. Inhale, left foot goes up, flexing into your left toes, reaching out from the heel. One long line from the crown of your head down to your left heel. On your next exhale, crunch your left knee into your nose, shift your weight forward, and push the floor away and gently, softly place your left foot in between your hands. Pivot onto your back foot so it's at about a 45-degree angle and maybe step it out a little bit so that it's hips width distance away from one another. Really ground down into your feet. Maybe you have a slight bend into your right knee here. That is perfectly fine. And let's all put our hand into the crease of our left hip, or left hand to our left hip, just to help with some guidance. And inhale, right hand all the way up. You can either keep both hands on your hips here. You can inhale your arms up. You can have a slight bend into your back leg. That's perfectly fine. It doesn't need to be straight. Just activate your right glute. Really grounding through your feet. Inhale. Exhale, both hands come down. Bring your left foot. Pivot onto the back of your right foot and send your left foot back behind you into your down dog. Like a little wave, perhaps. Let's just push to the balls of our heels and then start to bring and shift our weight forward, rolling into a wave into our plank pose. Take a breath here. Exhale your knees down. Exhale your chest and your chin. Slither your body onto the floor. Press into the tops of the feet. Send your hips down to the ground, engaging your legs so that your heels or that your knees come off the ground. And inhale, push the floor away. Cobra pose. Lower slowly. Tuck your back toes and shift your weight back into your hips. And press up into your down dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward, and step to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to your mountain pose. Exhale your hands to your sides. Palms face out. Ground into the feet here. Shift your weight back towards your heels. Really strong through the feet. And start to sit back into your chair pose, activating the legs. The legs can either be together and touching, or they can be farther apart. Whatever feels good. Just make sure that the inside of your legs are nice and active. We're drawing our knees together so that they don't fan out too much. And really strong and active. And your tailbone's elongated down. Hands can be at heart center, or they can be reaching up. Just try to sink low here. Breathing. One more breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your plank. Really grounding into the fingertips here. Use them to push the floor away. Tailbone's tucked, core is really strong. We're pressing through the feet so that you're at the balls of the feet. And exhale, lower your knees and your chest and chin. Tops of the feet to the mat. Slither your body all the way down on the floor, pressing into the tops of your feet. Send your hips down. Inhale, cobra pose. And exhale, move slowly to your down dog. Inhale, right foot up. Keep that toes flexed. One long line from the crown of your foot, or the crown of your head, I mean, all the way down to your heel. Inhale to the ball of your left foot. Exhale, crunch your knee into your nose. Shift your weight forward. Send that right foot in between your hands and plant it. Maybe you step your left foot out a little bit so they're at their about hips width distance here. Come to your fingertips and take an inhale. And exhale here. Ground through the feet. Inhale, arms come up, high crescent lunge. Activate your left glutes here, really pressing into the feet. Your legs are nice and strong in this pose. Your core is engaged. On your next exhale, open up into your warrior two. Back foot's at a 45-degree angle. Hips are now facing the left side of your mat. Arms are straight out from their sockets. And your chest is just stacked over your hips. Play around with shifting your body forward, reaching that right hand all the way up, and then shifting it backwards. And just see how that feels. Maybe take 2 or 3 of those. Next time you're forward, come all the way forward. And you can drop your right hand either to the floor, elbow to your knee, or to your block, if that feels good. And open up to your extended side angle. Right elbow to right knee, they're both pressing into one another with equal force, helping you open your chest up to the left. We can cartwheel both hands down to frame the right foot, swivel onto the ball of your back foot, press into the floor, and we're going to send our right foot all the way back to our down dog. Take a breath here. Inhale, left foot goes up, flexing into your toes, one long line from the crown of your head all the way down to your left heel. Inhale, come to the ball of your right foot. Exhale, crunch your left knee into your nose, shift your weight forward, bring your knee with you, and gently place your foot in between your hands at the top of your mat. Come to your fingertips and take a breath here. Set up the legs. Take a moment. Exhale. Really strong through the legs. Maybe you have to step out your right foot a little bit so that your feet are hips width distance. Inhale up to your high crescent lunge. Glutes are activated, really strong through the legs, really pressing through that back foot. So much so that your heel is stacked over the ball of your back foot, maybe. Maybe take your hands to your hips and just make sure that they're aligned with one another. Or stay here for balance. Or reach your arms nice and high. Core is engaged. Inhale. Exhale, swivel your back heel down, open up to your warrior two. Hips are now facing the right side of your mat. And our back foot's at about a 45-degree angle, really pressing into the blade, the outside blade of your right foot. Whew. Again, let's play around with shifting our weight forward, reaching our left hand all the way straight out. And bringing it back and reaching backwards with our right hand. Shifting forward and backwards. Forward. Stay forward. And you can drop your left hand to either the block, maybe your left elbow to your left knee, maybe your hand all the way to the floor. Just use your left elbow against your left knee to push your chest open to the right, reaching your right hand up nice and high. Still equally as strong through our legs. Really active in our side obliques. We're not just collapsing to the side. Cartwheel your right hand down to frame your right foot, swivel onto your back heel. Plant your hands and push your left foot all the way back to your down dog. Let's press to the balls of our heels, roll like a wave into our plank position. Take a breath. On your exhale, maybe lower knees, chest, chin, maybe you chaturanga. The choice is yours. Inhale for up dog or cobra. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step to the top of your mat. Ground into the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, send your weight to your heels. Sit up right into your chair. Ooh, let's hold it here. Your feet are nice and engaged. Maybe spread your toes and ground those down. Breathing, using your core. One more breath here. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to your mountain. Exhale, your hands to your sides. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, bend the knees, fold out from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your plank. Just for fun, roll over to your right side, hitting your right side plank. Your feet can be in a few different areas. Maybe your left foot is just stacked directly in front of your right. Maybe your left foot's stacked on top of your right. Maybe you play around with pushing the floor away with your right foot, pushing the floor away with your right hand, making a little rainbow with your body, if you will. And maybe you can lift that left knee. Just play around with it. Maybe you're just hanging out in your side plank. This shit's hard. Let's all roll back into our regular plank. Take a breath here. Inhale, roll over to your left side plank. Maybe try something new on this side, or maybe you do the same thing. Whatever feels good, just play around with your strength. You're definitely stronger than you think you are. Picking a focal point on the ground is really, really helpful in these kind of positions where they feel really freaking hard. Maybe you play around with lifting your right leg, making a little rainbow with your body, sending your left hips as high as you can. And we'll come back through our plank and push into down dog. Woo, that was fun. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. And exhale, step to the top of your mat and fold. Give your arms a little break here. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. Let your torso hang heavy over on your thighs. Maybe you bend into one knee, just getting a gentle sway. Let your head and your neck relax. Your shoulders relax. Just slow down the breath a little bit. Come to stillness. And inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way to your chair, just for a moment. Maybe a breath or two. Inhale. Exhale, come to stand. Hands by your sides. I'm going to face you just so you can see. Let's move into some balances. Ground into both feet, about hips width distance, whatever feels nice. Shoulders roll back. Let's start to pour our weight into our left leg. Lifting our right knee. We can make about a 90-degree angle. Whatever. Play around with your arms here. Maybe we come to prayer. Maybe we grow our arms tall above us. Maybe we keep them down on our sides. Whatever feels good. And slowly and controlled make your way to your tree pose. You can either kickstand your foot here so that your right heel is about touch the inside of your left ankle. You can go for your calf, or you can go for your inner thigh. Wherever you are, just make sure both legs are pressing into one another equally. Maybe your hands are at heart center. If you're in tree with your foot at your thigh, we're trying to send our right knee down towards the back corner of our mat. Just keep that in mind. Again, maybe you play around with shifting your gaze. Maybe if you were looking at the floor, maybe you try looking at the wall. Maybe we lift our arms up and grow our branches a little. Extra challenge to look up at the ceiling. Sometimes shifting your gaze makes the position that much more of a challenge. Let's lift our right knee and we'll move through a warrior three. Slowly just extend that right heel all the way back behind you, all the while bringing your torso in front of you, just all at a nice balanced motion. Maybe your hands are at heart center for stability, really pressing into one of your hands. Your back foot is nice and flexed. Your glutes are engaged. Reaching out tall from the crown of your head. Maybe you play around with airplane arms. Maybe, about to fall. Let's all come back to our prayer hands and slowly come back up and gently back down. We can fold here, give our left foot a little love, because that was a lot. Good job. Whew. All right, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to your mountain. Shoulder to shoulder back. Grounding into your feet, spreading your toes, reaching the weight into your heels a bit. Start to pour your weight into your right leg this time and lift your left knee at about a 90-degree angle. Left foot is flexed. Again, play around with your hands. Just see how it feels. Make sure your core is nice and engaged. It's also really helpful to maybe keep your left hand at your left hip, just to keep that in line so it doesn't bounce too far up. Maybe you have both hands on your hips, actually. Pretty good one. Maybe roll your ankle out a little bit. And slowly and controlling move to your tree, whichever variation feels good for you. Just pressing both forces together equally. Play around with your hands, play around with your gaze. Make sure your fingertips are equally as engaged as every other part of your body. Like reaching out forcefully, intentionally with your hands. Slowly remove your knee. Bring it back up to your 90 degrees. And very, very controlled and gently move through your warrior three. Sending your left heel strong back behind you. The crown of your head is nice and forward. Your left glutes are engaged. Your right leg is so strong. You have a nice focal point on the ground, maybe. Shoulders are back. Heart is shining forward. Hands can stay at prayer. Maybe you play around with airplane. Core is tight. And slowly and controlled, bring that left knee back up and gently place it down to the ground. Fold at the hips. Heel toe your feet apart so that your heels are faced in and your toes are face out. And maybe you actually even play around with gently coming to your tippy toes and then sinking your hips down. If that does not feel great today, don't worry about it. Keep your feet on the ground. But come into your yogi squat wherever feels good. Using your elbows in between your knees to press your knees away, sinking your hips a little bit lower. If you have to adjust your feet, go for it. Trying to shine our heart forward and sink our hips down. Maybe we bob from side to side a little bit. We're just going to slowly from here try to bring our butt down to the ground and our legs up into our boat pose. You can keep your legs bent right here if that feels good. If this totally sucks, you can just hang out maybe with your knees a little bit closer. If you're looking for a challenge, maybe try to point your toes. Shoulders are back, chest is forward. Really strong through the core. Maybe you're shaking a little bit. That's fine. That means we're getting stronger. And we're going to slowly lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the floor take or gravity take over just for a second. Walk your feet in so that your knees are facing up to the sky and your feet are on the ground. Let's just give our tailbone a little bit of an adjustment. So walk your feet out to about the length or the width of your mat, I mean. And let your knees fall into one another. Maybe you have to pick your tailbone up, retuck it, and gently place it back down to the ground. Just getting the whole tailbone connected to the ground is the goal. Just kind of resetting. Maybe your hands are on your hips, or they can be out on the floor. Just not thinking too much in this pose and letting gravity do what it does. Start to bring some movement and drop your knees over to the right side. And then to the left side. And to the right side. To the left side. Come to stillness. Bring your right knee to your chest. Give it a squeeze. Let your left leg go nice and long. And slowly cross your right leg over to your left side body, keeping your right shoulder blade grounded, gazing over your right shoulder, getting a gentle twist here. Inhale your right leg back over. And switch out your knees. Bringing your left knee into your chest. On your exhale, gently let your left knee fall over to the right. Left arm out, keeping your left shoulder blade connected to the ground and your gaze over your left shoulder. slowly bring your left leg back over. Bring both knees into your chest, grab the backs of your thighs, and just take a couple rocks along your spine. So I don't headbutt my plank. Just a couple rocks. And on your last one, let's open up into happy baby. Bringing your knees towards your elbows. Keeping your tailbone connected to the ground as much as you can. Use your hands to the outsides of your feet. Pulling your knees down. You can even get a little movement from side to side if you want. Whichever feels nice. When you're ready, you can slowly relax all the way down to the ground into your shavasana, however feels nice. When you're ready, no rush. Slowly start to bring in gentle little movements, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Slowly, gently roll over to one side. Using your arm as a pillow, take a moment here to thank yourself for the work you put in on your mat. Slowly make your way up to your seat. No rush. Hands come to heart center. Pressing into palms, pressing into your fingers. Just bow your head and thank yourself for your practice today. Thank you so much for practicing.